Malaysia, the UNHCR, Tzu Chi and University Putra Malaysia work together to provide free screening tests to refugees. In the US, volunteers recently surprised Grandpa Fong with a party on his 92nd birthday. Selamat datang ke Die Headlines, saya Simon Gan. Terima kasih menyertai sesi berita kita. Welcome to Die Headlines. Thank you for joining us. In Malaysia, the UNHCR, Tzu Chi and University Putra Malaysia work together to provide free screening tests to refugees, hoping that they too can return to work as soon as possible.
I would like to invite Mr. Jason and also Mr. Seo and others, Dr. Fu, to come forward together to have this handover ceremony.
University Putra Malaysia Hospital, Tzu Chi and UNHCR work together to conduct COVID-19 virus screening for refugees.
The 3 months of no work and all, they don't really have money in hands, and also to get the test done has been a challenge. And that's why I think this free COVID testing offered to them is really very timely, and we are very grateful.
Every human being needs to be treated equally. We should give service, we should give any assistance that is required to everyone, regardless of their religious belief.
To ensure the safety of employers and employees, the government has asked workers of all fields to undergo COVID-19 virus screening tests before resuming work. This includes foreign workers and refugees. So University Putra Malaysia Hospital lent a venue and donated testing papers for refugees to undergo screening for free.
On the 20th of July, we began the first screening. Every Wednesday, we provide such screening tests.
We're doing the tests so that we can protect ourselves and also our customers. We can serve with better confidence. And then for the government, they can contain the spread of this COVID-19.
The screening tests are handled by medical staff from Tzu Chi Free Clinic Center. They take pandemic prevention measures, hoping people can undergo the tests without worries.
In Xide County, Liangshan Prefecture, the local government turned to Tzu Chi for help, hoping to improve the local healthcare services. After Tzu Chi's survey, construction of the new clinic building was started at the end of last year and is expected to be completed by October this year.
Liangshan Prefecture, Sichuan, is the residence of the Yi ethnic minority. It is remote and lacks medical resources. Therefore, Tzu Chi Foundation signed a cooperation plan with the local government to assist in the construction of the public health center in November last year.
We are not only building hardware in Mianshan, but also sincerely trying to help this place. And we also added the elements of the Yi ethnic.
The construction of the public health center, which started at the end of last year, was not delayed due to the epidemic. The main structure of the 5-story comprehensive clinic building was complete in August.
This may be the first place in Xide County where we set up toilets for the disabled. When our patients came, they said that there was no building like this in Mianshan.
The original health center was built in 1957, which had no proper space planning. Each department was set up according to the needs. The new building will have a complete design for preventive medical treatment, which will provide more comprehensive services to the resident.
I live here. The landscape and land here nourished me. I think I can do something. If I can do something by myself, I am still willing to serve here.
In the mountainous areas, people are often unwilling to seek medical treatment due to the lack of resources, which delays their illness. However, since the establishment of the health center, doctors will conduct home visits, correcting many old superstitions.
In the past, many ethnic minorities here did not receive the medical treatment after they got sick, but bought chickens, sheep, and cattle for superstition. Now we'll educate them that if they're sick, go to the primary hospital first, and if they can be cured, they'll be transferred to the country or state hospital. Family doctors often come to the home to take care of our body temperature and blood pressure. I'm very grateful to them from the bottom of my heart.
With the hardware construction by Tzu Chi and the benevolence of the doctors, it will definitely safeguard the health of the rural residents.
The equipments in Tzu Chi Shizhi assistive device storage are either donated by kind-hearted people or collected from recycling stations. Recently, a cancer patient who has mobility issues applied for a mobility scooter and an oxygen cylinder. Volunteers quickly delivered the device to his house.
A volunteer's daughter is cleaning a mobility scooter and its seating. This assistive device will be delivered to the needy.
Before we give out something, we will invite Tzu Chi brothers and sisters to do some cleaning. Since the items are from different places and many of them look dusty, we must wipe them clean.
Besides cleaning, volunteers also need to test the devices.
Okay, yes, if it can move forward, we can deliver them.
Tzu Chi Shizhi Assistive Device Center has extended the use of devices. This day, they're giving out mobility scooter and oxygen cylinder to cancer patient Gao Wenqing.
The volunteers have told me that Tzu Chi has assistive device. If patients have such needs, Tzu Chi can lend us the devices. My brother, who is ill, needs these assistive devices, so I make phone calls. They are very efficient as we receive the devices today.
With the volunteers' guidance, the patient quickly learns how to move forward or backward.
Let's drive more slowly. I will adjust it for you.
Having fallen ill, I cannot walk and has to lie in bed all day. With this mobility scooter, I can go out and circle around the community. It is quite good.
Gao has been bedridden due to his illness. Now that he has the assistive device, he can finally go out.
Hualien Tzu Chi volunteers sent 2 second-handed mobility scooters and an electric wheelchair to 2 seniors with mobility issues in Xiuling Township so that they could go out of the house and walk into the crowd.
Tzu Chi volunteers installed the parts one by one and tested the device repeatedly. Their skillful hands gave the second-hand mobility scooter a whole new life. Tzu Chi volunteers went to Xiuling Township in Hualien to care for Mr. Jin, who has trouble with both of his feet. It is difficult for him to balance when riding a motorcycle, so he often fell down. The mobility scooter allows him to move with stability.
I'm very happy, very grateful. Thank you very much.
The other electric wheelchair and mobility scooter are sent to the home of Miss Mao. Miss Mao lives alone and suffered from stroke before, making her inconvenient to move. She is very depressed for not able to go out. Volunteers take this opportunity to encourage her.
She's a motivated person who always wants to learn but can't get out of the house. My greatest hope is to allow her to go out by herself.
I hope I can write this. I'm grateful to Tzu Chi sisters. Thank you so much. I'm so touched.
Staying by Miss Mao's side to give her the motivation to move forward, volunteers also guide her patiently, allowing her to have the courage to regain her passion for life.
Left-handed people are a minority of the population, which accounts for only 10% of the global population. August 13 is International Left-Handed Day, and our special report will take you into the world of left-handed people.
他的右手放在脑的后面，就这样放着，然后你可以看到他的手指头在这里。
Before the fetus is born inside the mother's belly, the fetus may show the dominant hand.
Development of left-handed and right-handed people is dependent on a choice associated with brain function.
11-year-old Jingzi is left-handed. The right hand that controls the bow is equivalent to the left hand of most people. Her flexibility has been achieved through training, as she writes and practices calligraphy as much as possible.
She still thinks she is left-handed. I just said that I hope she can achieve some balance.
Jingzi's father is also left-handed. In the family, only his mother and daughter are like him.
I think being left-handed is inherited. Yes, I passed it on to her.
If dad is left-handed and the mother uses the right hand, you have a 17% chance of becoming a natural left-handed person. The probability increases to 22% if mother is left-handed and father is right-handed. And if both spouses are left-hand dominant, there's a 24% chance. Even if both parents use their right hands, children will still have a 9% chance of being left-handed.
Which part actually controls this inherited trait? No one knows the genetic reference. It's even lower than height and lower than IQ performance.
Judging from the 10 major daily actions such as writing, holding chopsticks, throwing, brushing teeth, using scissors, lighting firewood, threading a needle, using tools, holding a racket, and washing face, the first 6 items are specially identified by left-handed people.
My right hand can be used to flush the toilet as well as when I brush my teeth and hold the shower head. When I want to eat and write, I use my left hand as well as use scissors.
At present, only 1/10 of the world's population is left-handed. This ratio has been maintained from 500,000 years ago to the present. The number of left-handed people in Europe and North American countries is higher than in Asian countries, with 13.23% in the Netherlands compared to South Korea's 2%. We can see the disparity where the proportion of male left-handed is higher than female.
90% of people are right-handed, so because of this, they may feel that being left-handed is bad.
Everyone will say that your left hand is the bad hand.
The history of left-handed discrimination can be seen from the text. The right usually represents a positive, and left generally has negative and derogatory connotations. This prejudice may explain why left-handed people at childhood are forced to correct themselves.
She may be sitting next to you and she will hit you on the hand.
The older grandmas, when seeing her write with her left hand, will continue to criticize her.
Most tools in society are designed for most right-handed people. Even if the environment is still not friendly, left-handed people have learned to adapt in order to survive.
Development will go through many stages of trial and error until they find the best way for him to adapt.
At present, there are not many studies on left-handers in the world. In order to create a more friendly environment, the International League of Left-Handers designated August 13th each year as International Left-Handers Day, hoping to inspire the majority to recognize the needs of left-handed people.
U.S. Tzu Chi volunteer Feng Zhongyou is 92 years old, and everyone calls him Grandpa Feng. He was certified as a Tzu Chi volunteer in 1996 and has been engaged in charitable activities ever since then. Volunteers recently surprised him with a party on his 92nd birthday.
Volunteers work together to wrap up beautiful gifts, which also include a cute bear cake.
We want to wish Grandpa Feng happy 92nd birthday. Because he is our old bodhisattva, he is really passionate and does his work every day and listens to the master's teachings. So we have a special surprise for him today.
Who everyone calls Grandpa Feng is 92-year-old Feng Zhongyou, who has been involved in Tzu Chi for more than 40 years. He has done fundraising on the streets, distributed hot food, and volunteered in the Tzu Chi school as a bell ringer. As long as there is a Tzu Chi activity, he goes there.
6.6 billion people are destroying the planet, so we need to talk about environmental protection. Although it may be too late, it's better to do it than not to do it right?
Feng Zhongyou has been a model volunteer in everyone's eyes for his charity work for nearly half a century. Therefore, volunteers decided to give this surprise on the eve of his birthday.
Wow, so many people. Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
This outdoor birthday party, there are balloons, cakes, and flowers, as well as a special guests who come to offer blessings.
Thank you, Xiaoniu. I've heard this name for a long time, but I've never seen him before.
Unaffected by the epidemic, the Dharma family is warm and spirited.
I feel so close to the Dharma family. There are thousands of words, but I can only say 2 words, thank you.
Although he suffers mobility issues because of a stroke, Feng Zongyou said with a smile that he should be a first-class old man as he studies 3C diligently and makes good use of science and technology.
There are 3 difficulties in life. It's hard to be born as human. Dharma teachings are hard to come by, and it is hard to meet good mentors. Good mentors refers to a Dharma master. We've obtained all 3. What else can we ask for?
This elderly volunteer is compassionate. His philosophy of life has also set a good example for younger generations.
In May 2016, the government of Xiamen City proposed listing Gulangyu as a World Heritage Site. Tzu Chi volunteers were invited to set up recycling stations in local communities, bringing recycling to the local people and shop owners. Although the volunteers haven't been to the island for months due to the pandemic, but to their surprise, the local residents did a very good job, continuing doing recycling as it has become part of their lives.
For half a year, Tzu Chi volunteers couldn't visit Gulangyu. But this August, volunteers have set foot on this island once more.
Hi, I was about to bring these recyclables out to the location, and you just arrived.
This person that greeted Tzu Chi volunteer is Community Health Supervisor Zhang Meiye. After interacting with Tzu Chi, she had always put the task of recycling as a priority. Even when volunteers weren't here, she continues the spirit.
I pick up these recyclables, and it's best for you to pick it up. I store a lot of these recyclables during the pandemic and told my husband that we should call a sanitation worker to pick up these bags. But my husband told me that you'll be back soon.
Zhang Meiye's wish came true in August, at the park under the banyan trees. Although tourists have greatly decreased, volunteers and locals remain committed to recycling.
I'm quite used to picking bottles. Yesterday, I fetched around 10 bottles, but sometimes it depends. Not all times we will retrieve these bottles.
Although 67-year-old Xue Jianming is blind, he is very skillful at recycling. He told us that doing recycling is like working out, and he is in great shape right now.
Ever since I came to the recycling event, I felt stronger and I have continued to do recycling even when volunteers aren't here. But I still hope for volunteers to come back, and I hope for their return daily.
At night, Gulangyu is peaceful and calm, and the harmony associated with recycling started by volunteers and locals continue to resonate on the island.
In 2003, Taipei City government did not collect garbage on Wednesday nights. Tzu Chi volunteers in Datong district seized the opportunity to promote nighttime recycling on Wednesdays. After 17 years, there are now recycling points in every borough, and on Wednesday nights, more than 200 volunteers sought recyclables, protecting the environment.
Today is Thursday, 环保。我们大家一起来做环保。师兄，请问一下，你这个是第几站？第一站。
这边的环保志工是从2岁开始的，到现在已经结婚了，又来了，还是有啊。
爱护地球，然后尽己之力。
我们要为这个社会尽我们的责任。
感恩，感恩，感恩，感恩。
When volunteers first wanted to do recycling on the streets at night, they faced many challenges.
People reported to the police, so policemen came often.
Despite that, Yang Yingfeng and Xu Jianguang persevered and continued to do recycling on Dihua Road for more than 10 years. Xu went to collect recyclables riding his motorcycle. His wife Yang bound the paper quickly, although she cannot straighten her fingers.
Despite the difficulties, as long as we're doing recycling to benefit the public, naturally, people will come help us.
With determination, volunteers overcame the challenges. On Hami Street, a recycling point is under a banyan tree.
It is good to do it under the banyan tree as it is cooler. In addition, this street light is very bright. 4 people's hourly wages should be $13 but the money made by selling these recyclables is less than $13 So we are not doing it for the money. We did it to protect the earth.
Volunteers have been doing recycling at night in Datong district for 17 years. At first, they learned from recycling volunteers in Banqiao.
Sister Zhu Xia did recycling on Thursday mornings. They set up 6 to 7 recycling points in the community so everyone had work to do. As more recycling points are set up, the community residents can bring their recyclables more quickly.
Back then, Taipei city government did not collect garbage on Wednesday night. City volunteers seized the opportunity to promote nighttime recycling with a speaker. Currently, there are recycling points in 25 boroughs in the district. This photo shop owner supports the volunteers as she has lent her venue to volunteers.
I appreciate my customers. When they pass by here, no one complains. Everyone supports the idea of environmental protection.
On this day, more than 200 community residents have joined the recycling work. They include father-son pair, mother-daughter pair, and mother and daughter-in-law.
I came with my mother-in-law as I have seen how she is volunteering happily. I see it as an opportunity to learn and make new friends.
On Wednesdays, volunteers gather to sort recyclables, and the recycling truck is full.
环保30年，赞！我常常来做环保，赞哦！心灵上的幸福，我不会讲啊，讲不出来。
Shanghua Tzu Chi liaison office in Tainan had promoted vegetarianism to over 70 nearby government agencies and companies, sending them over 12,000 lunch boxes. And as the goodwill continues to spread, more people are also adopting a vegetarian diet.
Around 100 volunteers assisted with prep cooking and packaging. The liaison office in Tainan's Shanghua district, delivering over 12,000 meals over the course of 3 months.
We started from 50 lunch boxes, but now we doubled to 106 meals. It's almost like the entire company participated. Some small companies start with 3 or 5. Now they are at 120.
Through the process of promoting vegetarianism, I found out that my Tzu Chi brothers and sisters was really serious and careful while cooking. Their sincerity had led us to go more and more vegetarian.
No matter the industry, under the guidance of volunteers, people became interested in vegetarian diet.
If we have the chance in the future, I will continue to promote vegetarianism. Our workers at the warehouse may do so every week.
The meal doesn't burden my body and helps with my health. This is why vegetarianism is good.
I always thought that vegetarian food doesn't have taste to it, but after eating some meals, I like it, and it was very delicious. I will continue to eat this.
Through the promotion of vegetarianism, Tzu Chi volunteers hope more people can join in the train of doing good deeds and gaining blessings.
In Taichung, volunteers held a blessing ceremony in a fresh market and promoted vegetarianism to the locals that attended. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and goodbye.